Coming up on OU Nightly, we'll be talking about all the snow that fell this morning and what's coming next in your full forecast.
Plus, new fallout in the OU essay controversy. Find out who's demanding an apology and why. And public health experts are sounding the alarm over possible changes to childhood vaccines. Find out why a big decision is put on hold. This is OU Nightly. Look at those flurries. Norman woke up to some snowy weather this morning. You're taking a look at video our OU Nightly crew captured earlier this morning.
And now we're going to take a live look at the South Oval. You can see that morning snow has already melted away. Thanks for joining us tonight on OU Nightly. I'm Reagan Garvin.
And I'm Cariana Gamboa. When I woke up and I saw the snow, I was like, oh my gosh, it's snowing. I love it, but it's so cold.
I know, it was beautiful, but it was definitely a very chilly start to the day.
Well, let's go ahead and turn it over to our OU Nightly meteorologist, Aiden Bruns. Aiden, can we expect any more snow in the forecast?
Sadly not for those of you who love snow, like myself, but look at this radar image. It is very dry. All of that snow and ice from this morning is way off to the east, and everything off to the west is looking very dry. So we don't have anything to look forward to snow-wise in the coming future. But for this morning, I mean, this is all the data we have from the National Weather Service. We got about 7/10 of an inch of snow. However, snow is less dense than rain, so that only amounted to about 33/100 of an inch of rain on the back half of it. But since the soil temperature was 46 degrees this morning, that's what made it so the snow melted just so fast. And with temperatures switching from below 32 degrees to above 32 degrees, that's why we went from rain to snow to ice, and it all melted so fast. But coming up in your full forecast, we'll recap where the snow was this morning, as well as the warming trend before our next cold front.
Thanks, Aiden. Tonight, we're learning more information into the tragic school bus accident in Oklahoma City that claimed the life of a 6-year-old boy. OU Nightly reporter Sutton Parker has been following the story. Sutton, what can you tell us?
An Oklahoma City family is grieving tonight after a child died yesterday afternoon in a school bus accident in southwest Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City Police Department says the child was walking home from school with two friends near Southwest 51st Street and Douglas Avenue when he attempted to run across the intersection. The school bus that had stopped at the corner was turning southbound when the boy was struck and run over by the bus's rear wheels. The child was taken to OU Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Authorities are currently investigating the incident and no charges have been filed at this time. Cariana, Reagan.
Thanks, Sutton. The Freedom From Religion Foundation is calling on the University of Oklahoma to reinstate a graduate assistant who was placed on administrative leave after allegations of religious discrimination. The Graduate Student Senate is set to vote on whether to ask OU for more transparency around the administrative leave process for graduate teaching assistants, a response to the recent controversy on campus. OU Nightly's Landon Thomas has how students are reacting to the latest developments. Landon.
Yeah, Reagan, when we were on campus today, we catched up with some fellow students here on campus that had nothing to talk about, or actually everything to talk about OU junior Samantha Fulnecki's paper. Hear what they have to say.
She wasn't in the right. And I think the whole thing, she created it to become a big deal. I think that with her family influence, her sorority influence as well, I think it was all created to be like something where it was supposed to gain traction on social media.
When I found out about it, I was like, oh, maybe she's in the right here. But then I decided to look at the paper myself, and I was like, oh, for 650 words, I thought that it wasn't that good of a paper.
You know, it's kind of hard to tell. You know, you don't really know people's true intentions unless you really talk to them. I mean, from the way it looks right now, it just looks like it was a girl trying to, say what she really believed on a paper. And sometimes it looks like a professor was a little bit uptight, but I'm really not too sure who's in the wrong right now, but hopefully we'll figure that out with all the evidence that comes out.
Samantha Fulenecki is actually going to be a guest speaker at a Turning Point USA event right behind me, as they announced on their Instagram, at Nielsen Hall at 6 p.m. Meanwhile, some students are planning a protest starting in the Student Union at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Reporting from the South Oval, Landon Thomas, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Landon. Oklahoma State Chamber says they're working to improve the Oklahoma education. This comes after the Oklahoma report card was released for the 2024-2025 school year. Within this improvement, they're planning to start with literacy through grades pre-K through 3rd. OU Nightly spoke with the Oklahoma State Chamber's Policy and Research Director Amanda Hall about what the chamber is specifically wanting to do.
We're hoping to make some alignment specifically with literacy and how teachers learn how to teach students to read, and then how they have professional development to teach students how to read.
And bloodshed, and to begin a new era of harmony and cooperation between the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda.
A peace deal signed in Africa. Jack Hancock has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Following decades of war in eastern Congo, President Donald Trump met with the presidents of the 2 African countries at a peace deal signing today. Earlier this year, leaders of both nations reached a peace deal, but deadly fighting continued. The new peace deal includes agreements on humanitarian efforts, but will also open some of the country's critical minerals to the U.S. government and businesses. The New York Times is suing the Department of Defense and Secretary Pete Hegseth. The lawsuit is over the Pentagon's new restrictions on press access. Many Pentagon reporters refused to sign on and handed in their press passes. The suit attempts to overturn the October policies. Earlier this week, many major news outlets were barred from a press briefing in the Pentagon. Following a meeting with U.S. officials earlier this week, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he can't get behind part of the proposal from the U.S. to end the war in Ukraine. Putin emphasizes Russia's plan to gain control over Ukraine's Donbas region by, quote, military or other means. The Russian president refused to comment on what specifically in the plan he didn't agree with. And U.S. employers announced nearly 1.2 million jobs were to be cut by the end of November, the highest level since the COVID-19 pandemic. Kiriana, Reagan?
Thanks, Jack. Today and tomorrow, major changes could be made to the childhood vaccine schedule.
We'll have what's at stake for you next.
And Team USA will be arriving in style at the upcoming Winter Olympics.
We'll take a look at the team's new outfits and tell you how you can get your hands on a piece when we come back.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over. Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Mariella!
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight.
Got it.
Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Welcome back. Childhood vaccines could be seeing major changes. CNN's Amanda Sisone has more on why some are worried about the nation's health could be at risk.
Public health experts are sounding the alarm over major changes to U.S. vaccine policy under the Trump administration.
There are real clinical lasting impacts from changing these recommendations.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices is set to convene Thursday and Friday to re-examine long-established vaccine protocols and likely revise the recommended timing of the hepatitis B shot given to newborns. The members of the committee, handpicked by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., have expressed skepticism over the vaccine schedule.
I think that the conclusion that we know that it is safe is perhaps premature.
But in one study, experts warn delaying the birth dose could result in 1,400 or more preventable infections in children each year.
We've seen tremendous reductions in childhood infections with hepatitis B, and this saves lives.
Dr. Anthony Fiore, a former CDC infectious disease specialist, says infected infants face nearly a 90% risk of chronic disease and insists there's no reason to change a schedule proven safe and effective for 3 decades.
It's actually a remarkably safe vaccine. Nothing has been shown that has any long-term consequences, and certainly nothing that has anywhere near the consequences of a chronic hepatitis B virus infection.
In Washington, I'm Amanda Sansoni.
Vaccine advisors are delaying a vote to tomorrow that could lead to dramatic changes to the hepatitis B vaccination and practices in the U.S.
As we see more winter weather, the Norman Animal Welfare Shelter is reminding residents when they should bring in cats they see outdoors. They say they have been seeing an unusually high number of cats brought into the shelter. And to only bring in a cat if it's injured, appears to be sick or weak, is a young kitten, or is trapped. They're also asking people to leave healthy outdoor cats in the neighborhood in order to keep space open for those who truly need it.
The holiday spirit is about to take over Norman, and residents are ready to rock around the Christmas tree.
Stay with us. We'll break down everything you need to know about the Norman Christmas Parade after the break.
And many students enjoyed the pretty sight of some snowfall this morning, but maybe not the temperatures. How long is it going to take for us to warm back up? I'll let you know in the full forecast after the break.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Well, welcome back to OU Nightly and happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you got a chance to see the beautiful snowfall this morning. Here's how it tracked across the state. This is exactly what we predicted in our forecast yesterday with a narrow band of snow falling. This is how it projected going pretty much straight through Norman. This is our precip total, so we got a little over ½ an inch of snow, but that amounted to about 1/10 of an inch of precipitation in the form of water once that snow melted. But observed lows overnight, we did get to 30 degrees in the last 24 hours. So that is what allowed us to get that snowfall. We were only at 30 for a few hours, so that's when we switched from rain to snow. And now looking outside, well, we're back to that brown fall-like look and no more snow on the ground out here on our Weather Center camera, but we are at 37 degrees. It is pretty chilly out there. Lots of people bundling up in their coats and jackets, but our feels like temperature is pretty similar because those winds are very calm today. So that is some good news with those chilly temperatures. And across the state, a pretty similar story, 30s and 40s. 37 up in Enid and Woodward as well right now for us here in Norman. But people are asking, are we going to get any more snow? Because they loved it this morning. And unfortunately, we are not expecting any precip in the next 6 to 10 days per the Climate Prediction Center. We are in the below average trend. They could get some out in the northwest and out in the northeast as well. But here in Norman, we are not expecting any snow, unfortunately, for those snow lovers like myself. But this evening, temperatures are going to remain chilly. We are going to get below freezing. So there is a chance that as that snow and water starts to evaporate, there could be some fog in the morning with temperatures getting below freezing, could leave some slick spots on the road. So keep that in mind, but very chilly if you have outdoor plans tonight, maybe to see some Christmas lights. And across the state, we are looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, few 30s out east, but that's what to expect. I mean, we're getting into December, so colder temperatures are pretty much expected. But as for your hourly forecast getting into tomorrow, we're going to see a pretty similar day as we did a few days ago earlier this week, getting into the 50s. So you can shed a layer maybe by the time you get into the afternoon, but definitely bundle up if you're heading out early for work or class in the morning. Otherwise, highs across the state for us on Friday. We do get to the 50s. Like I said, a little chillier up to the north, 49 in Guyman, 48 over there in Miami. So we are going to be back to that average temperature that we're used to this time of year, warming up. But what can we expect with our national forecasts coming through the end of this week? We're going to be dry. Like I said, some rain and snow showers probably up to the north, but a cold front comes through on Sunday. It is going to be a dry one, but it is going to make those temperatures chillier. So looking pretty dry, like I said, but that cold front comes through and it does affect those temperatures. Here's how it's looking on your 7-day forecast. 50s stick around, but Sunday we do get back into the mid to lower 40s for us. And then heading into next week, a pretty similar story. The sun will come back out, guys, but the snow was so beautiful this morning. I loved it. What did you guys think? Did you get to walk in it or just look?
No, like I said earlier this morning, I walked out and I was like, oh, that's not
right?
green.
A lot of people were not expecting it.
No, yeah, it was so fun. I loved it, but it was really cold.
It was so cold.
Yeah.
I'm a Texas girl. I'm not a snow fan, but it's okay. It was so pretty.
It's pretty, right?
Yes,
beautiful. Yeah, maybe we'll see some more winter weather. But speaking of winter, the Winter Olympics are approaching, and Ralph Lauren unveiled the Team USA uniforms for the opening and closing ceremonies of the Winter Olympics in Italy. The company spent 2.5 years on the uniforms, which are made entirely in the United States. This is the 10th Olympics in a row Ralph Lauren has designed Teams USA uniforms.
We also have to understand where the athletes will be, who the athletes will be, and what the Olympic story is going to be, so we can create products that are appropriate for the opening ceremonies, for the closing ceremonies, and of course for all the village gear.
The opening and closing ceremonies are set for February 6th and 22nd.
The holiday season is about to take over Main Street. The annual Norman Christmas Holiday Parade is set to light up downtown, promising a night filled with lights, music, and plenty of holiday spirit. This year's theme, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and you're taking a live look, or just a look, sorry, at that tree right now. The parade will travel down Main Street, starting at Pickard Avenue and ending at James Garner Avenue. If you're planning to go, it all happens Saturday, December 6th at 6 p.m.
With the NFL season entering the final few weeks before the playoffs, it's crunch time for one former OU player.
And one former Sooners' pockets will now feel heavier.
Plus, a new stadium is coming to Oklahoma City, which could bring the energy on the field and off the field. Plus, the ACC-SEC Challenge proved to be no challenge for one standout freshman. See what record was broken at the LNC up next in sports.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Hello, I'm Michael Thompson, and it's time for sports. After a career high in points last night, Aaliyah Chavez's 62 points over the last 2 games are the most ever by a freshman in OU women's basketball history. OU Nightly's Kevin Daniel has the story.
Well, the SEC-ACC Women's Challenge came to Norman Wednesday night, and this one was as close as it can get. We'll start in the second quarter. Zia Van pokes that one free, takes it on a fast break for a layup, breaks the tie, and kickstarts the Sooners' best scoring run of 7. Now in the fourth, it's Zia Van again on the fast break. This time she pulls up from mid-range and cuts the Wolfpack lead to 1. Now this game is going to end up going into overtime. So off the overtime tip, Aaliyah Chavez gets it, and she's just going to slice right through the defense for an easy layup, give the Sooners a 2-point lead. Then they're going to feed Reagan Beers at the post. She might miss the first one. She'll grab the rebound and muscle through the defense to get that basket. Sooners hang on and win 103-98 in the highest scoring women's game in Lloyd Noble Center history. Well, a 33-point career high for freshman Aaliyah Chavez propelled the Sooners past the Wolfpack in overtime, but really it was the defense that stepped up in this one, holding NC State to just 33% from the field in overtime, and as Jenny Baranchek explains, really came down to the team's need to succeed.
I think they decided they really wanted it. And when you decide that you really want something and you have a group that really wants something, you usually get it.
We just stay connected on our defense, especially like when we're trying to get it to overtime. Like we were talking after our timeouts, during our timeouts, like we just stayed connected and we know exactly, like we wanted to win this.
Reporting from the Lloyd Noble Center, Kevin Daniel, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kevin. CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas Cowboys take on the Detroit Lions in Thursday Night Football. Coming off a touchdown last week, Lamb will look to get back in the end zone tonight, and the Cowboys would certainly love that because according to the NFL, Dallas has a 36% chance to make the playoffs with a win, 8% with a loss. And on Wednesday, the man with the most touchdowns in Ravens history put pen to paper to extend his time in Baltimore. Former Sooner Mark Andrews signed a 3-year extension worth nearly $40 million with $26 million guaranteed. And also on Wednesday, Oklahoma City announced a $121 million stadium coming to the city. Over 10,000 people will be able to pack the stadium, which could potentially bring professional soccer back to Oklahoma City. Many other sporting events and concerts can be held in the stadium, and construction is set to begin this spring with an opening target date of January 2028. Carry on, Reagan.
Thanks, Michael. If you've been craving a little nostalgia, today might be your lucky day.
Coming up, what classic comfort snack makes today the perfect day for a sweet treat?
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm Sutton Parker at the OU Nightly Update Desk. National Guard troops will remain in Washington, D.C. for now. Earlier today, a federal appeals court froze another court's ruling that would have forced them to leave the city. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals says it will pause a lower court's ruling while it looks into the case further. Kiriana Reagan, back to you in the studio.
Take one more look at the weather. Aiden, what's in store?
I mean, no more snow, unfortunately, for those of you who love it, but the temperatures will be warming up, so that is some good news for all of us who are bundled up today. The sun will come back out after the cold front that comes through on Sunday morning and afternoon, and then temperatures sit pretty steady in the 50s and 60s.
Well, thanks, Aiden. And if you love cookies, today is the perfect day to treat yourself. It's National Cookie Day.
Yes, it is. And if you want to save some dough, several bakeries are celebrating with deals. At Insomnia Cookies, the first 100 rewards members can get a free Snowball Classic cookie. At Crumble, if you buy a 6-pack, you'll get the 7th for free. And Panera is doing a buy one, get one free deal.
I personally love oatmeal raisin, but I might be getting some.
I'm a snickerdoodle girl.
I love a good homemade cookie, guys. I don't care what kind it is, but as long as my mom's making it, I'm happy.
Oh, I love that. Warm cookies out of the oven.
Yes. And it smells so good, too.
Yes, perfect for the holiday season.
No,
absolutely.
I'm with you. And homemade is by far the best.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching OU Nightly. I'm Kiriana Gamboa.
And I'm Reagan Garvin. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use